sleepy eyes, reflecting the shadow of Lin Moyu. How did you come back? Antares had a deep voice, obviously not awake yet. Lin Moyu said, after I have done what I should do, I will come back naturally. Done. So fast. Antares muttered, how long has it been? Maybe not more than half a month. This is done. When did deep space become so easy to mess with? Has the soul reached the second grade? Antares was puzzled, thinking it was impossible. In the deep space, even if you find your way, it will take a long time to find it. If you encounter a super god level, you must have several battles. How can it be so fast? Lin Moyu said, I was lucky, I found the place where the gods are buried, and I also found the core of the world. What? Antares raised his head abruptly. Not only the place of burial of gods has been found, but also the core of the world has been found. Lin Moyu said, it's a pity that I couldn't find the Dragon Ball this time. I will go next time and I will definitely help you find the Dragon Ball. Antares shook his head, Dragon Ball, it's okay, don't worry. Take out the core of the world and let me see. Lin Moyu took out the world core and sent it to Antares. The core of the world is just a ball the size of a fist. In front of Antares' eyes, it is equivalent to an ant, insignificant. Antares blinked, that's right, that's it. The power of the world is quite enough, and it can be regarded as a boutique in the core of the small world. With this, your future journey will be easier. Lin Moyu wondered, what's the use of this? Antares smiled, I have a good talk with you. Antares cheered up, shook his head, and his eyes became serious. Seeing Antares like this, Lin Moyu knew that what this guy was going to say was really important, and immediately raised his eyes, listen all ears. Quote, cough cough. Antares cleared his throat, like an old pedant, and began to lecture. The core of the world is a true god-level treasure, and it has 3 uses. Most people only know the second, but they don't know the last use. Actually, the last use is the largest and most important function of the core of the world, and it is also the most important to you. Antares used 3, most, as the opening remark, which aroused Lin Moyu's interest even more. The first function is to use the core of the world to refine weapons and armor. The weapons and armor refined with it will have the power of the world, and the effect can far exceed that of equipment of the same level. The second function is to extract the power of the world in the core of the world and use it to strengthen your own world. In the big world, almost every strong person has his own small world. Some of them will destroy the world by hand, refine the good world into the core of the world, and then extract the power of the world in it to strengthen their own world. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat when he heard it, because the strong in the world would do such a thing. The cruelty of the big world once again exceeded my imagination. Although the battles between the strong often lead to the destruction of the world. Being able to passively destroy the world and actively destroying the world are 2 completely different concepts. Weak creatures do not even have the most basic right to survive in the big world. How long you can live depends on the mood of the strong. Antares laughed, you know how cruel the big world is. Now let me talk about the third use. Most people don't know about this use. Only races with ancient inheritance like our dragon clan will know about it. The core of the world can also be refined into a special container. Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback, a special container. What is it for? Antares shook his head, in the core of the world, apart from the power of the world, the most precious thing is its body. Its body contains various laws. Through this secret method of our dragon clan, it can be refined into a special container. In this container, everything stands still, including time. Lin Moyu thought for a while, but still didn't think of the use of this special container. Antares laughed even louder, you have always been smart, why can't you think of it now? You will leave this world sooner or later. I once told you that there are 2 ways to leave this world. Lin Moyu responded, Antares did say so. One is to bring the whole world into the big world, let your own world bathe in the laws of the big world, and become a real member of the big world. In this way, this world will become stronger, some restrictions will be heard, people in the world will speed up the cultivation, and it will be easier to comprehend the law. The disadvantage is that this side of the world will lose the protection of the big world, and it will be truly exposed to the eyes of the powerhouses of all races. The other is that Lin Moyu goes out alone first, and then takes the small world out after he is strong enough. But how strong it will be and how long it will take, Lin Moyu is not sure. It might take hundreds or thousands of years, or even longer. By then, things will have changed in the small world. My sister, Meng Anwen, Bai Yiyuan, Ning Yi, Shi Xing'an, and the people I care about may all be gone by then. Neither approach is perfect. Lin Moyu was also unable to make a decision at the time. Antares smiled. Think about it. Now that you have the core of the world, you have a third choice. When you become the master of the world, you can manipulate the soul imprints in the world. Put all your beauties and friends into this world container and take them away. Lin Moyu's eyes flickered. The third choice that Antares said was indeed much better than the first two. Lin Moyu said, in this way, they can obtain the resources of the big world, be baptized by the laws of the big world, have the opportunity to cultivate to a higher level, and even gain longevity. Antares snorted heavily and let out a rough breath. Longevity. You think it's so easy to live forever? There are countless races in the big world. Some races have a long lifespan of tens of thousands of years, and some races have a lifespan of only a few years. According to the lifespan of your human race, ordinary people are no more than 100 years old, and even at the god level, they are less than 200 years old. Half-step super god is decades longer than god level. Even if you use various means to prolong your life, the limit will not exceed 400 years. How long do you want him to live? 200 or 400? Lin Moyu shook his head. These are not what he wants. Can't it be longer? Antares said unhappily, of course. The super god level is the first transformation of the human race. The lifespan of the super god level is 500 years. Every time you upgrade to a level, you can increase it by 100 years. For your human race, the lifespan limit of the super god level is 2000 years. The true god level is longer, starting at 5000. But I'm telling you the truth, none of your beauties, friends, or teachers has enough aptitude to reach the super god level. Looking at the whole world, there is only your sister, and her aptitude is not bad. If you don't have enough qualifications, no matter how hard you try, it's useless. Even if you go to the big world, it's useless. Stop delusional. Antares hit Lin Moyu mercilessly. Lin Moyu was not angry, he could understand what Antares said. Antares was trying to stop him from thinking that he shouldn't have. Antares continued to hit Lin Moyu, and you think it's that simple, everything has two sides. Everyone has only one chance to enter this special container, and can't enter it a second time. So once you wake them up in the big world, and then there is no way to raise them to the super god level, that is to say, a short period of 200 or 300 years. Then it's better for you to spend your whole life with them in this world before leaving here. It's only a few hundred years, and I passed away after sleeping. You just choose one before the first two methods, and it doesn't matter if you go out a few hundred years later. It's not worth the trouble. What's more, even if you take it out, there may not be hope. It's a waste of energy, and if it doesn't work, it will affect yourself. Antares kept whining, with complaints. There was clearly something wrong with its mood. There was concern in Lin Moyu's eyes. What's wrong with you? Antares shook his head. Nothing. Lin Moyu's voice sank slightly. There must be something. Antares stared at Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu also stared at Antares. Wide-eyed and small-eyed, a look of whether you want to talk or not. Antares finally retreated. Actually, it's nothing. It's just that a few guys from the previous era were disobedient and did some outrageous things. These outrageous things made Laozi very unhappy, and caused some harm to the world. Otherwise, your era wouldn't be so tragic. Antares didn't go into details, to be honest. Obviously, it does not want to dwell on this issue. That was a problem of the previous era, and Antares felt a little angry, so he could only talk to Lin Moyu. Similar things, Antares has said many times. It is full of resentment towards those guys from the previous era. Lin Moyu didn't ask any more questions, but continued the topic just now. I think they lived longer, don't they have a history? Antares glared at Lin Moyu. You brat must have already guessed it. Lin Moyu smiled. He did guess it. Lin Moyu knew that Antares was for himself, so he told himself this way. Now that I told myself this method, there must be a follow-up. Antares said, when you become an invincible powerhouse, you may be able to change your fate against the sky. Invincible strong. ... Antares explained it again, and Lin Moyu finally knew what an invincible strong man is. That is not a state, nor is it a level, but a kind of respect. In the big world, an invincible powerhouse refers to an existence that has controlled a certain law to the extreme. After controlling a law to the extreme, you will get some magical abilities. Only in that way can there be a chance to change fate against the sky. It is very difficult to become an invincible powerhouse. Lin Moyu's eyes were full of fighting spirit, as if a fire was burning. The soul also roared silently, and Antares heard Lin Moyu's soul voice. Invincible and strong, I will achieve it. Lin Moyu clenched his fist and made a crackling sound. How to use the core of the world to make a container, you teach, I will do it. Lin Moyu said in a deep voice, firmly. He has already made a choice, the invincible strong, he will definitely achieve. The container mentioned by Antares is also called the coffin of sleep. Because it is refined from the core of the world, and it cannot be faked by others, it must be committed by Lin Moyu himself. After the container is refined, it can be collected in the soul world and carried with you. Antares told Lin Moyu the refining method. Lin Moyu collected the core of the world into the soul, and then flowed out with the power of the soul after, ACAF, surrounding the core of the world. Refining the sleeping coffin does not require fire or hammering, it uses soul power. During the trip to the deep space, he absorbed a large amount of soul essence. Not only did his soul quality improve, but his soul level also broke through to level 195 unconsciously. Now Lin Moyu has the ability to drive the law, and does not need to continue to rely on the soul-splitting method. The soul level of level 96, the soul quality of the peak of the second rank, is far more than 10 times the pure soul power of the same level. In terms of soul, Lin Moyu has already far surpassed other 96-level professionals. It also met the requirements for refining the sleeping coffin. The first step is to peel off the calendar of the world. The soul power that had already wrapped the core of the world suddenly rioted, wrapping the power of the world in the core of the world at once, and pulling it away. The power of the world has no effect on refining the sleeping coffin. Not only the power of the world, but even the laws in the core of the world must be completely stripped away. The inside of the sleeping coffin is absolutely still, does not require any energy, and is truly empty. All that is needed is a special substance at the core of the world. As for what is special about this substance, Lin Moyu doesn't know, and neither does Antares. Antares only taught Lin Moyu the secret refining method of the Dragon Clan. Knowing it, but not knowing why. This is the first time for Lin Moyu to forge a weapon, and it is still a soul forge, so Lin Moyu is very careful. Refining in a large world is different from that in a small world. Small world crafting belongs to alchemists and blacksmiths. But in the big world, as long as the strength is reached, everyone can refine weapons. It's just that some people have talents or skills in this area, and they have added benefits to the equipment they refine. The same material can be refined to produce stronger and better utensils. Lin Moyu will naturally not pursue anything better and stronger now. Sleeping coffin, as long as it can be used. The power of the world was stripped out by Lin Moyu with his soul. The whole process was very slow. Lin Moyu did it very carefully, not letting go of the slightest bit. The whole process took 10 days. After the power of the world separated from the core of the world, it gathered into a ball of golden light. Antares said softly, "Did you know? This group of world power can be sold at a good price in the big world." Lin Moyu wondered, the power of the world can still be used for buying and selling. Antares laughed, "What's so strange about this? In the big world, there is almost nothing that cannot be bought and sold. As small as a piece of material, as large as a whole world. From dead things to living things, from the lowest slaves to a powerful race, they can be bought and sold. The key is to see if you can afford the price. As long as the price is reached, even if you want the head of some invincible expert, maybe someone will take it. Things like the power of the world belong to hard currency. Those strong people have their own small worlds, and they all want to increase the strength of the world. There are also some elders who, in order to train their own descendants, will also create a small world for them and give them some power in the world. The veil of the big world was raised again. But every time you know more, you can imagine the cruelty. Lin Moyu is still checking the core of the world repeatedly to see if there are any emissions. Even if you miss a little bit, it may cause your own refining to fail. Antares just glanced at it. You don't need to look, you can proceed to the second step. Lin Moyu did check the same, and started the second step. Step 2, the law of peeling. There are many broken laws in the core of the world. These laws are in a state of disorder, and Lin Moyu also needs to use his soul power to peel them off. The method is not much different from the power to strip the world. Lin Moyu has experience, so he did it more smoothly. Whether it is stripping the power of the world or the law of stripping, it is actually a process of deepening the soul imprint on the core of the world. In the process of stripping, the connection between Lin Moyu and the core of the world is getting closer and closer, which is also laying the foundation for the next step. Lin Moyu became more and more proficient, and began to be handy, and could even be distracted from chatting with Antares. When I was looking for the core of the world, I met people from two big worlds. Antares said strangely, the deep space is originally connected to the big world, so it's not surprising that someone comes in. And it's not a secret that the core of the world has fallen into the deep space. Other than Jiang Yi, there must be others who know about it. Tell me about who you met. Lin Moyu told about the situation at that time, and at the same time showed the jade pendant to Antares. Antares looked at the jade pendant, thought for a moment, but didn't recognize where it came from. This jade pendant carries a positioning technique, and when you enter the big world, the other party should sense it. Your human race is still united in the big world, so it should be fine. As for the sneak attacking you, it should be the offal of the Shadow Clan. That's what these guys are all about, doing sneaky things. Antares' disdain made Lin Moyu amused. This guy's haughty temper can't be changed. Suddenly, Antares stared at Lin Moyu's soul, his eyes gradually changed. What's wrong? Antares' eyes became extremely strange. Lin Moyu also felt strange, not knowing what happened. Antares stared at Lin Moyu's soul. Did something else happen to you? Lin Moyu thought, it should be gone. I'll see for myself. After Antares finished speaking, a huge longan suddenly appeared in the soul world. Technique, Shenlong Haoyan. Antares used the dragon's eye, to check Lin Moyu's soul. Lin Moyu knew that Antares would not harm him, so he let go of his soul and let him check. Antares looked more and more wrong, and his tone was slightly condensed. Have you ever had contact with Zerg? Lin Moyu thought of something. Yes, I want to know what happened that year, and check the soul of a super god third order bug. What do you see? Lin Moyu shook his head slightly. There is nothing in its soul. Antares said with disdain, of course there will be nothing. The bugs of the third level of super gods are just cannon fodder. What can a cannon fodder want, as long as they can obey orders? It's like a battle puppet. Do you need a puppet to have a mind? Just be able to fight and kill. Continue to say, there is nothing in the soul, you must not be reconciled, what have you done? Antares looked at Lin Moyu with an expression that I don't know you yet. Lin Moyu thought for a while. I continued to go deep into its soul, and finally I saw a different picture in the depths of its soul. It's a huge three-dimensional network. There are countless layers of layers, and there are countless nodes on it. The number is too dense to count. Then in the center of the web, a huge eye appeared. It launched a soul attack on me, and I backed out immediately. By the way, it was still talking to me at the time. Antares hurriedly asked, what did you say? Those who spy on our clan, die. Hearing Lin Moyu's answer, Antares showed a strange smile, and repeated what Lin Moyu said, those who spy on our clan, die. Lin Moyu was puzzled. Is there any question? The problem is big. Boy, you are in big trouble, and the world is in big trouble. Do you know what you provoked? Antares was a little out of breath, even with horror in his eyes. Lin Moyu felt that what he provoked seemed to be an extraordinary existence. But after thinking about it, I realized something was wrong. If the Zerg were really so powerful, why didn't they invade this world back then? In Antares' eyes, Lin Moyu caught a faint smile. Is it fun to scare me like this? Lin Moyu glared at Antares angrily. Antares smiled sarcastically. I've been discovered. Tell me, what's going on? Lin Moyu knew that there must be something must have happened to him, but it shouldn't be too serious. At least the situation has not exceeded Antares' ability. Antares smiled. What you have entered is actually the soul network of the Zerg. The structure of the Zerg is somewhat special, and it is different from many races. They are centered by a brood, and then give birth to countless offspring, and all the Zerg are controlled by the brood. 7. The eye you see and the sound you hear are actually from the brood. The Zerg's soul network is equivalent to their private territory. If you enter it, even if you are an intruder, they will naturally kill you. Although you escaped the soul attack of the brood, you were still marked, and the Zerg can find you through this mark. Lin Moyu said, but I'm in a small world, and Zerg can't get in. Zergs can't get in, but they can completely destroy this small world if they pay some price. Moreover, Zergs are unreasonable. What you do is taboo for Zergs. They will never die with you. I'm so Lin Moyu was already speechless, just glanced at why there was such a big trouble. Fortunately, the Zerg is far away from you, and it will take time to come here. I'll remove the marks they left on you now, so they won't be able to find you. The big world is so big, I know where you are. As Antares said, a ray shot out from Shenlong Hui's eye, and landed on Lin Moyu's soul. Lin Moyu felt that the soul seemed to become lighter, and some things that should not belong to the soul were cleaned out. Soon, the mark left by the Zerg on Lin Moyu was cleaned up, and Antares put away the dragon eye. Actually, the Shadow Clan also left a mark on you, and this time it was also cleaned up. Lin Moyu was a little depressed. Do people in the big world like leaving soul marks so much? Antares laughed. It's just a routine operation, and you'll understand later. Just get used to it. Lin Moyu is speechless. Is this one of the rules of the big world? The Zerg star, which was advancing rapidly in the starry sky of the great world, suddenly stopped. They lost the guiding beacons and lost the direction. The brood far away in the deep space opened its eyes again and let out an angry roar. The voice of the soul resounded in the silent deep space. Who dares to meddle in our family's affairs? No matter who you are, this deity has already remembered your aura, and will find you sooner or later. The hive shared the breath about Lin Moyu with the entire Zerg. In every corner of the deep space, one after another, the broods woke up and received this message. The Zerg has a special way of contact, and can instantly transmit their will to the entire group. Lin Moyu has entered the Zerg blacklist. In the territory of the Shadow Clan in the big world, a group of Shadow Clan members gathered together. The Shadow Man who failed to attack Lin Moyu but was wounded by Lin Moyu was sitting on the ground, very embarrassed. Surrounding him is a group of Shadow Clan elders, watching him like watching a rare animal. All of these high-level officials were so powerful that he was so overwhelmed that he dared not speak. He didn't know why he had caused such a big commotion when he came back just to heal his injuries. The soul is cursed. This is a compound curse, with several kinds of damage at the same time. But this is not the scariest thing. In this curse, there is the law of time. I also felt the law of time, which strong man in the human race made the move. This law of time seems to have just been mastered, and it is still very shallow. No matter who it is, as long as it is related to the law of time, it cannot be underestimated. I didn't expect that in the human race, someone has mastered the law of time. It's really enviable. It seems that an invincible powerhouse is about to be born in the human race. The Shadow Clan elders discussed one after another. The man wanted to cry but had no tears. After talking for a long time, you guys treated me. He was tortured by the curse all the time, and he was in pain. As a result, people still have to watch. How depressing it is. He hated Lin Moyu more and more in his heart, and wished he could cut Lin Moyu piece by piece, making 180 million pieces. For a whole month, Lin Moyu has been refining the sleeping coffin. The power of the world was stripped off in the first 10 days, and all the laws in the core of the world was stripped off in the last 10 days. In the last 10 days, the inner space of the core of the world was expanded to form a special environment that was completely empty. The core of the world is originally a special item that will be produced after the destruction of a world. It possesses special properties unique to some worlds. For example, it possesses a huge space without the need for the law of space. After losing the power and laws of the world, it only has space left. In this space, even the law of time has completely disappeared. Enter it, and everything will be at rest. Accompanied by bursts of twilight, the coffin of sleeping has finally refined a human being. The coffin of sleep does not look like a small square box, it is inconspicuous. Holding the coffin of deep sleep, the soul said, I did not make a mistake, did I? Antares glanced at it. Yes, this is it. I've seen a few of them before, and they're all like this. Lin Moyu wondered, you Dragon Clan, why do you need this stuff? The lifespan of the Dragon Clan is slender, and ordinary elemental dragons can live thousands of years ago. If they evolve into holy dragons or even divine dragons, it is not uncommon for them to live tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years. How can this thing be used? Antares looked at Lin Moyu like an idiot. Don't dragons get hurt? If you get injured and put it inside, the injury will not worsen, and you can buy time for treatment. Anyway, there are many ways to use the sleeping coffin. Apart from pretending to be a girl, it can also pretend to be other things. Think about it yourself when you have time. Lin Moyu put away the sleeping coffin. Okay, I understand. With this thing, there is at least an 823 chance to change the fate of Ning Yi and others against the sky. It won't be 100 years later, watching them break through without hope, living and dying. Lin Moyu thought a lot during this month and thought of various possibilities. Everyone has a different personality and the choices they make will not be the same. The choice he makes is not necessarily the choice that others like. In the end, how to choose, or to respect their opinions. The soul took a deep breath and stretched, causing a slight vibration in the soul world. Continuous use of soul power for a month has improved Lin Moyu's soul control ability again. Also accumulated a little experience in refining utensils. The method of refining utensils with the soul is similar. Now, as long as the corresponding methods and materials are provided, Lin Moyu can manipulate the soul power and refine various utensils. It can be regarded as acquiring a new craft. My soul has reached the peak of the second rank, and my level is close to level 89, so it's time to transfer my talents. When he said this, Lin Moyu looked at Antares, and the subtext was, is there anything else I should pay attention to? Do you have anything else to say? The last time it was just an attempt, Antares obviously didn't make it clear. This matter must be fully grasped, and Lin Moyu is not too troublesome to ask one more question. Antares said, there is nothing to pay attention to, I hope you can succeed. Is there really nothing to pay attention to? It's really gone. Sure, brat, do you not believe me? Okay. Didn't it mean that Lin Moyu was tricked last time, and he doubted his own words like this? What about trust? How can the trust between humans and dragons be so fragile? Antares left angrily, closed his big eyes, and looked like he didn't want to pay attention to Lin Moyu anymore. Lin Moyu looked at its appearance and knew that it was not really angry, nor did it care that the soul body rushed into the depths of the soul world. The surrounding sounds disappeared, and there were always some murmurs in the soul world, which were the sounds from the magic star and from all sides. There is even the time when the energy of the soul body flows, and the sound of the 9-colored dragon soul circling. These sounds are very, very subtle, countless times smaller than the sound of ants crawling. You can't hear it with your ears, you can only hear it with your soul. But now, with the deepening of the soul world, all the voices have disappeared. The soul can no longer hear a sound. Even if the 9-colored dragon soul is still circling, it has become silent. It was dark all around, and the light of the magic star had long since disappeared. It was too deep here, and the light of the magic star could not shine in. It is said that no one knows how deep the soul world is. Because no one has ever arrived. Lin Moyu asked this question, and Antares failed to give a corresponding answer. However, Antares told a story that there was once a nearly invincible powerful existence who tried to explore the deepest mysteries of the soul. His soul continued to move towards the deepest part. Eventually, he died. After he died, he was discovered by others and his body was checked. Found that the soul disappeared, only the body remained. The deeper one goes into the soul world, the weaker the connection between the soul and the physical body will become, until it disappears. That's how the strong man Antares spoke of died. The connection between the body and the soul is completely broken, and the soul is lost in an unknown place, and can never return. Faintly, Lin Moyu feels that the soul world is not as simple as it appears on the surface. If there is a chance in the future. While thinking about it, a gleam of light appeared in sight, slightly illuminating this mysterious world. The gate of the talent world has appeared in front of his eyes, and the cracks that were torn by himself still exist. The world of innate talent seems to be virtual and real, and it is between the virtual and the real, so it is not clear. In this area, outsiders cannot enter, only oneself can enter. Lin Moyu came to the gate of the talent world, and saw the 3 flames again through the crack he tore. 3 purple flames represent my 3 talents. They are arranged like a font, burning blazingly. In the center of each flame, there is a seed of talent. As long as you take out the seed of talent and bring it back to your own soul world, it is considered as taking the talent out. After success, even after reaching level 90, the door to the world of talents is gradually closed, and my talents will not disappear. How important talent is, Lin Moyu knows all too well. The 3 major talents are indispensable, and it is better to have less than half of the magic skills, and one of the talents cannot be missing. The soul body passed through the gate and truly entered the talent world. A scorching breath rushes towards the face. This kind of scorching heat can only be felt by the soul itself. Lin Moyu couldn't estimate how high the temperature of the 3 purple flames was. Last time, the soul was not strong enough, and at the peak of the first rank, it was impossible to touch the talent seed. This time, the soul reached the pinnacle of the second rank, a copper helmet and iron armor, covered with a layer of golden light. It is already very close to the third grade, so it should not be a big problem this time. Full of confidence, Lin Moyu reached into the talent flame again, trying to grab the talent seed. The soul was roasted, and suddenly there was a sharp pain. Lin Moyu had been prepared for a long time, but he just snorted and didn't withdraw his hand. The outside of the soul is glittering with gold, and the soul itself exudes the color of copper and iron, blocking the burning of the flame of talent. The soul of the peak of the second rank is indeed much stronger than that of the peak of the first rank. This time, Lin Moyu successfully caught the talent seed. The moment he grasped the talent seed, the flame of talent exploded instantly, devouring the entire soul. The flames of the body were innate with a sea of flames, and intense pain came from all directions. It seemed that at this moment, countless people attacked their own souls. At this moment, the power of the talent flame was several times stronger than before. Lin Moyu felt like his heart was jumping. If it was the last time, even if I was lucky enough to catch the talent seed, I am afraid that I would be burned to ashes in an instant. Death is not death, it will be more painful. Severe pain kept coming, and the severe pain in the soul was unbearable. Lin Moyu's soul was shaking, and his body was shaking too. Ideas kept coming from his subconscious mind, asking him to let go of his talent seeds. Just let go of the talent seed, and the flame will disappear, and the pain will disappear. But once you let go, all previous efforts will be wasted. How could Lin Moyu let go? Absolutely impossible. He snorted softly, gritted his teeth, and rushed out of the talent world holding the talent seed tightly. In the deep and dark world, a group of purple flames is moving forward rapidly. At the center of the flame is the soul of Lin Moyu. He gritted his teeth, grunted in pain from time to time, and returned quickly. Along the way, clusters of flames scattered, leaving a long fire path behind. The purple flame is fueled by the entire soul world, burning blazingly. The soul world and the soul body, combined together, are considered Lin Moyu's soul. Whoever is hurt is enough to cause intense pain. As more and more flames fell, the fire path became longer and longer, and the pain intensified. Lin Moyu knows that there is no turning back when you start a bow. From the moment he grasped the talent seed, there was no way out. He can only go to the end in one way, and he can only succeed but not fail. Under the continuous roasting of the flame of talent, Lin Moyu felt that his soul seemed to be fading, and his consciousness was passing away. Are you reaching your limit? Lin Moyu suddenly had an idea, but it was erased by himself immediately. No, it's not far from the limit. It's just the first talent, there's a second and a third talent behind it. Someone from the chosen clan has at most brought out 10 talents, and I only have 3 talents in total. What's the matter? The sound of the soul pierces, breaking the darkness and silence. Lin Moyu doesn't know at all that there are differences between talents. His talent belongs to the highest unique talent, so it is very difficult to move it. It is much easier to carry those low-level ordinary talents. With his previous peak soul quality, he could easily carry it successfully. Antares didn't say this to Lin Moyu, and there's no need to say it. The light of a total of 22 magic stars illuminates the soul world, rendering the soul world silvery white. Suddenly, a purple light appeared in the soul world. From far to near, the purple light quickly overwhelmed the light of the magic star, because Lin Moyu added another layer of color. The magic star has light but no heat, and the soul world was originally a little cold. But from the appearance of the purple light, the soul world suddenly became warmer. Soon, a group of purple flames appeared in the soul world. Lin Moyu returned to the soul world covered in fire, let go of his hand immediately, and let the talent seeds fall into the soul world. Boom! The purple flame exploded, and the soul world instantly turned into a sea of flames. The magic star is beating, and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal is roaring. The entire soul world began to shake violently. The sharp pain that was stronger than before surged at this moment, and Lin Moyu couldn't help but let out a scream. The talent flame ignited the soul, and the soul world became a sea of flames, burning blazingly. Waves of severe pain continued to hit Lin Moyu, making Lin Moyu feel that life would be worse than death. He wished he could faint on the spot, but he couldn't wake up, and it was impossible for him to faint. In the outside world, Lin Moyu's whole body was emitting smoke, with purple light shining through from time to time. Antares opened a slit in his eyes, grinning. Brat, enjoy yourself. It obviously knew it would happen, but it didn't tell Lin Moyu. This lasted for a full 10 minutes, 10 minutes that life would be worse than death. The pain disappeared suddenly, without warning. In the next second, an indescribable sense of comfort swept through the whole body. No extreme happiness, all hardships come. Lin Moyu can't use words to describe how he feels now. This kind of comfort has never been experienced before. My thoughts are clearer than ever, and I feel that the world seems to be different. How so? The flame in the soul has disappeared, and a group of talent fire is flickering beside the soul body. The entire soul world is like burnt glass, exuding a noble atmosphere. This burning made the soul world stronger, at least 10 times stronger than before. The previous soul world was like a net, with wind blowing everywhere. In the current soul world, a glass-like shield has appeared on the internet to protect the soul. The soul world is the shell of the soul. The stronger the soul, the safer it is. Not only the soul world has become stronger, but even the soul has been improved. The incineration along the way just now cleaned up some of the impurities in Lin Moyu. The quality of the soul seems to have improved again, and it is a little closer to the 3rd grade. I didn't expect that the talent of transporting would have such benefits. Lin Moyu let out a long breath, feeling that the pain he had endured before was worth it. Antares snorted, the benefits are more than these. At some point, Antares returned to Lin Moyu's soul world. It is also appreciating the changes in the spirit world. This is decent, this kind of soul world is worthy of a 3rd grade soul. Antares commented on Lin Moyu's soul world, and seemed quite satisfied. Lin Moyu said, you mean, after I move out all 3 talents, the soul quality can reach the 3rd grade? Antares hummed, almost, it should be fine. It should be possible, that is to be certain. A 3rd rank soul, even a true god-level powerhouse, might not be able to possess it. The soul is the foundation of everything, and only a stronger soul can carry more powerful power. The 2nd grade soul is the basis for becoming a true god. At the same time, the limit of the soul of the 2nd grade also stops at the god level. If you want to go to a higher place, then the quality of your soul must also be improved accordingly. If you want to break through to the true god level, you must first have a 3rd rank soul. It is possible for Lin Moyu to reach the 3rd rank soul first, laying a solid foundation for his future. The talent flame finally stabilized. At this moment, it is much closer to the soul, and Lin Moyu can clearly feel its existence, and the 2 sides are connected and inseparable. How do I feel? My talent has become stronger. Lin Moyu suddenly felt that his talent seemed to have changed. Antares said, it's normal to become stronger. The original talents don't belong to you, they just live temporarily in your soul world. If you don't move them out, when you reach the super god level, the talent world will be closed, and these talents will leave you. Now that you have moved them out, the talent seeds have your soul imprint on them, and these talents truly belong to you. Do you know why this thing is called talent seed? Lin Moyu thought about it, because they can grow. Antares smiled, yes, they can grow. Lin Moyu asks, can all talents grow? Yes, all talents can grow. But talents are different, and the growth limits are also different. Some seeds grow up to be grass, and some are trees. Talent can grow as Lin Moyu's strength improves. Start from a seed, take root and sprout, and eventually grow into a towering tree. Antares told Lin Moyu how to make his talent stronger, which is actually very simple, that is, to irrigate with the soul. But to irrigate talent, you first need to have a high-quality soul. Especially for a powerful talent like Lin Moyu, the requirements for the quality of the soul are higher. Lin Moyu couldn't wait to irrigate his talents, but Antares stopped him. Don't rush to irrigate, you can move out all 3 talents, and then irrigate. The first irrigation is very important, just like laying the foundation. The higher the quality of the soul, the better the effect. Lin Moyu understands that after all 3 talents are moved out, his soul may reach the 3rd rank. Using the soul of the 3rd grade for the first irrigation, the effect will be better than now. Thanks. Lin Moyu sincerely thanks. Antares snorted, stop being hypocritical, move bricks. Enter the talent world again. Lin Moyu has experience and is more prepared. He directly grasped the talent seed. Enduring the pain of being burned by the flames, he quickly left the talent world and began to return. In the deep darkness, a fire path appeared again, and a fireman opened the way ahead. Pain is only temporary, beauty is infinite. Lin Moyu seemed to be hypnotizing himself, ignoring the unbearable pain of ordinary people as much as possible, and returning to the soul world with the seed of talent. A ray of purple light strikes from the distant darkness, like the first ray of light breaking through the darkness, bringing hope and light to people. Also pointing the way for Lin Moyu in the dark. Lin Moyu speeded up following the guidance of the light. Looking at the light, Jian has countless memories. The first talent for transportation is also the first talent I awakened, comprehensive amplification. This talent accompanies me for the longest time, no matter what period it is in, it has brought me great help. Even now, undead and various spells can break through the upper limit and exert powerful power, all of which are inseparable from its credit. As the level increases, the comprehensive amplification talent is also strengthened. Without this talent, Lin Moyu asked himself, at best he would be invincible at the same level. Leapfrog challenges will become very difficult, or even impossible to complete. No matter how many undead you have, if you face a god-level powerhouse at level 80, you will still be vulnerable. I can do this step, comprehensive boost, talent is indispensable. This unique god-level talent is the first sharp blade in his hands, and he is invincible in overcoming obstacles. All the way up to now, Lin Moyu has learned a lot. I was cursed by the rune of the great world, and all my spells and skills were greatly weakened. Fortunately, it was compensated by the comprehensive amplification talent, which greatly weakened the curse effect of the great world rune. Comprehensive amplification, the talent seems to be fighting against the big world rune. Lin Moyu thought of his own system, which hadn't appeared for a long time. Just like the talent that I am carrying now, it is also obtained by system optimization. There is also a third talent, which is also obtained through system integration optimization. During the skill demonstration, the system once appeared in the image of a necromancer. I also saw it when the talent was awakened. The system is always there, always helping itself. Every time it will appear at the most critical moment. Suddenly, Lin Moyu realized something. I didn't think about it before, but now I suddenly think about it. The system is helping me, and I am doing right with the big world rune. The great world rune cursed me with its supreme power, not only suppressing skills, but also suppressing talents. The system fights against the big world rune, which allows me to obtain a god-level talent, allowing me to have a powerful emperor. No wonder you see systems in the talent world. It's no wonder I saw it during the skill demonstration. It's really been there all the time. Lin Moyu suddenly understood, and finally figured it out. With the second talent seed, he returned to the soul world. Lin Moyu put down the seed of talent and let it turn his whole soul into a sea of flames. The soul world vibrated violently, and the second time it was baked, the soul world would become stronger and strengthened again in the flames. The quality of the soul also improved accordingly, and Lin Moyu's body was shining with gold, and he had already touched the gap between the second and third ranks. You only need to advance one more point, break through the gap, and the soul can become a third grade. Antares saw that something was wrong with Lin Moyu. What's wrong? Nothing, I'm thinking about something. Naturally, Lin Moyu will not tell about the system, this is his biggest secret, it will rot in his stomach forever, and he will not tell anyone to listen. Antares snorted, if you have any questions, Ben Long can answer them for you. You can't. How dare you underestimate Ben Long knows everything. Antares yelled in disbelief. Lin Moyu rolled his eyes at it. I was thinking, what is the deepest part of the soul world? This. Antares was suddenly dumb, and he really didn't know this. Lin Moyu smiled, I'm just thinking about it. Antares warned seriously, just think about it, don't go, I love cats if I'm curious. I know. Seeing that the second flame of talent has also stabilized, the temperature of the soul world has increased a lot again, and warmth is flowing everywhere. The closer the place is to the talent flame, the higher the temperature and the warmer it is. Lin Moyu rested for a while, and after his soul fully recovered, he went to the talent world again. The purple light shone from behind for a long distance, and then became lighter and weaker. Lin Moyu has a feeling that the whole soul world is like a starry sky without blocks. And the one with the star of magic and the flame of talent is just an insignificant point in the boundless starry sky. That feeling, like the solar system in the past world, is just an insignificant point in the universe. It's like leaving home and going to the endless dark deep space. This feeling is weird, popping up out of nowhere, but when you think about it, it's really similar. Lin Moyu soon re-entered the talent world. There is still the last flame of talent burning in the talent world. This is the third talent, comprehensive rebirth. It looks no different from the previous two talent flames. The purple firelight is reflected on the soul. Lin Moyu didn't do anything immediately. This talent flame was formed by his own eyes. At that time, I awakened one talent, and then awakened the fourth talent through the talent god stone. Both talents are golden, obviously not as powerful as purple. If the system does not show up, he may obtain 4 talents. But it is also possible to explode and die. After all, the human race can only have 3 talents, which is common sense. The system appeared in time to integrate and optimize the 2 talents, and finally formed the unique god-level talent in front of me. It is precisely because of this talent that I turned skill star cores into magic stars, which greatly improved my strength. The system has played a key role in being able to reach this level. Backquote, System, are you there? The voice of the soul resounds through the talent world. No respond. The soul world is quiet, without any sound. System. Lin Moyu called again, but still did not answer. Lin Moyu knows that the system must be there, but the system always only appears when the okay key is off. Taking a deep breath, Lin Moyu reached into the talent flame and held the talent seed. Lin Moyu instantly turned into a burning man, and the severe pain came in like a poisonous snake. Lin Moyu was silent, and he was used to it. With the seed of talent, he left the world of talent. Lin Moyu glanced back, and found that the talent world was still there. What happened? When the talent world loses all talents, it should be closed, just like the skill space, it should disappear. But the talent world has not disappeared, it still exists. It's not normal, it doesn't make sense. It is different from what Antares said. Lin Moyu turned into a burning man at this time, and by the light of the fire, he saw a figure appearing in front of the entrance of the talent world. System. Lin Moyu recognized it at a glance, and what appeared was the system. It should be said that it is an image prop created by the illusion of the system. It has been seen many times in skill demonstrations. Lin Moyu couldn't see its face clearly, but he could feel it looking at him. The world of talent begins to move away. It's not shrinking, disappearing, but moving away. The door to the talent world has not been closed, and the hole he tore open still exists. The Necromancer transformed by the system did not speak from the beginning to the end, and only looked at Lin Moyu for a few seconds. Even, seeing, is only a feeling. The system took the talent world and flew towards the deeper part of this silent world. Lin Moyu wanted to chase, but in the end he didn't move. He knew that the deeper areas were beyond his reach. This is already the limit that I can achieve so far. If you continue to go deeper, your soul will be lost, and you will lose all contact with your body, so even if you have a fully reborn talent, it will be impossible to resurrect yourself. In just a few seconds, Lin Moyu understood the meaning of the silent look. The system is to allow itself to find it. Not now, but in the future. The system has pointed out the direction for me. Lin Moyu murmured, he really understood. The system took the talent world away, in fact, it pointed out an aspect for itself. In the future, through your own talents, you will be able to find the direction of preparation. There is always some connection between talent and its place of birth. This weak connection will become the best road sign. Lin Moyu once again felt the kindness brought by the system. Without any words, this feeling is very clear. Lin Moyu knows from the depths of his soul that the system will not harm him, and the system has been helping him. At this time, the talent world has completely disappeared. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate any longer, turned around and flew towards his own soul world. The closer you get to the soul world, the stronger the connection between the soul and the physical body. The soul can get directions, but not heal. The purple light illuminated Lin Moyu's way home, and the third talent seed was thrown into the soul world. The soul world once again quaked and turned into a sea of flames. The shell of the soul world became thicker and stronger, and some impurities in Lin Moyu's soul were burned away. The golden light that originally covered the soul shrank suddenly, and the copper helmet and iron armor disappeared, replaced by a layer of golden color. Above the soul, the glazed golden light of the sun is slowly flowing. Golden glass, the representative of the soul of the third grade. Antares was very satisfied. Little monster, do you know what this means? The soul of the second rank is the basic condition for becoming a true god. All super gods are working hard to make their souls reach the second rank. The third rank soul is the condition for surpassing the true god and becoming the king of the gods. Only when the soul reaches the third rank, can one hope to reach the realm of the god king. I have heard the realm of the King of Gods from Antares more than once. After the true God is the God King. Lin Moyu feels the different feelings brought by the soul of the third product. The soul consists of three parts: quality, level, and strength. The three parts complement each other and are indispensable. The improvement of quality can also drive the improvement of level and strength to a certain extent. The third grade soul has brought Lin Moyu's soul level one step further, and his soul power has become more pure. Lin Moyu opened his eyes and looked around his soul world. So, I already have the qualifications to become a God King. It should be said that you have already met one of the conditions. Lin Moyu asked sincerely, what about other conditions? Antares had a touch of mystery. Really want to know? Real. But I still can't tell you. Is this interesting to you? Lin Moyu doesn't understand it very much. It's all about this. This thing is still hidden. Is it interesting? Antares scolded with a smile. You know what? What I know is that the method of our dragon clan's promotion is completely different from your human race's method. If you promote according to the method of our dragon clan, if something goes wrong in the future, whose fault will it be? What's more, when you leave the small world, someone will come to tell you, just like the lady who gave you the jade pendant that day. She said she would come to pick you up. When the time comes, you'll know everything. Don't ask me in such a hurry now. Now that you have solidified the foundation honestly, it will be convenient for you to toss about in the future. It turned out to be such a thing, no wonder I couldn't tell myself. Antares is not stingy, nor is he trying to be a joke, but he is afraid of affecting himself. Sorry. Lin Moyu apologized to Antares for misunderstanding it. Antares has a big belly. It's okay, although I don't understand the cultivation method of your human race, I can tell you that no matter what method you use, you can't do without the soul and the law. This is the root of all races. There would be a big difference. Also, there are several cultivation methods in your human race. When the time comes, your own eyes will shine brightly, and you will choose one carefully. Don't choose the wrong one. Although it is said that in the end, they all lead to the same goal by different routes, and it is good to avoid detours. Thank you. Lin Moyu wrote down what Antares said. The soul world no longer vibrates violently, and the third talent flame has also stabilized. The three talents settled down in the soul world, once again forming a character shape. The three talents are independent, but connected with each other. At the same time, their light sprinkled on all the magic stars, and a special connection was established with the magic stars. From body to soul, Lin Moyu has a closer connection with talent. This kind of change is very subtle. If he has not reached the third grade soul, it is difficult not to sense it. The talent has been transported, and then it is watering. Antares murmured in a low voice, it is unheard of for the first pouring of talents with a third grade soul. The transfer talent needs to be completed before level. Occasionally someone will reach the second rank. Less than 90 levels can make the soul reach the second rank, already belongs to the absolute genius. There are very few such people in the big world. As for Lin Moyu, who is less than level 90, but has a soul that has reached the third rank, which is unique. Anyway, Antares has never heard of it. What's more, Lin Moyu has moved all three talents, and all three are top talents. It is difficult for Antares to estimate how far these three talents can grow in the end. Soul watering is not watering with soul power, but with soul body. With the soul splitting method running, Lin Moyu split a strand of soul, and then flew into the talent seed. After the talent was moved here, it has become Lin Moyu's private property, completely branded with Lin Moyu's brand. At this point they no longer do any harm to Lin Moyu. The separated souls smoothly entered one of the talent seeds and were quickly absorbed by the seeds. Lin Moyu then split the soul and entangled the lost. The first watering is not something that can be done in a short time, it often takes a long time. The soul that each person can split every day is limited. After splitting to a certain extent, it cannot continue, otherwise the soul itself will be damaged. Wait until the soul recovers, then continue to divide and continue to water. According to the strength of the talent seed and the quality of the soul, the time for each person to complete the first watering is different. The higher the talent level, the longer the watering time. The higher the quality of the soul, the shorter the time required. Normally, it is normal to complete the watering of a seed from a few months to a year. There are even some people who took 2 or 3 years to complete the first watering. But for Lin Moyu, all kinds of restrictions do not exist. The all-round newborn talent is not a decoration. It has fully proved its power when transforming spells into stars. So, Lin Moyu started his show operation. Antares had waited for a long time and sharpened his claws again. Antares has never had such a good time killing. Lin Moyu has never died so well. For 3 days in a row, Lin Moyu was dying. Every time the comprehensive newborn talent is activated, the talent tilde flame that belongs to it will vibrate violently. But the flame of talent is always strong, and it has also made Lin Moyu's confidence. Full rebirth is reborn together with the soul, allowing Lin Moyu to split the soul again every time. The number of soul splits has also been greatly increased. Others can only split more than a dozen strands at a time and have to recover. But Lin Moyu is doing hundreds of unscrupulous divisions. Wait until the soul is almost split, let Antares kill himself a few times, and gain new life with the help of talent. Then continue to repeat the operation. In just 3 days, Lin Moyu completed the watering of the first talent seed. The talent seed sucks the soul, and the incomparably close connection with Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu feels that the gifted seed seems to have become his own child. After all, it is full of his own soul. Antares hasn't killed enough. Just replace it when you're full. It doesn't germinate so fast, it takes time. Lin Moyu hummed, continued to split the soul, and began to water the second seed. Time after time, Lin Moyu's operation became more and more proficient. Antares said while killing, "I've never seen you like this, I killed you monster. Less than level 90, 3rd grade soul, you are funny." Quote, "Less than level 90, super god level combat power, how do you let others live? Less than level 90, 22 spell stars, who are you scaring to death? There are big world runes pressing it, and it can be upgraded to level 90. You are not a monster, who is a monster?" Lin Moyu was speechless, and felt that the fan must be crazy. But then again, let the hair go crazy. For some unknown reason, having been trapped here for so many years, with Antares' strength, he must be extremely aggrieved. But this kind of aggrieved can't be told to anyone, it will be even more depressing. If it hadn't been able to sleep, it would have gone crazy. In the next 5 days, I don't know how many times I was killed by Antares. Lin Moyu is too lazy to count. 5 days later, he finally fed the other 2 talent seeds. The first watering of the talent seeds is completed, and now they are waiting to germinate. Lin Moyu stared at the talent seed and never left. Half a day ago, the first talent seed began to exude bursts of vitality, and it became more and more intense. Now the vitality has spread throughout the entire soul world, and it is about to germinate. A law suddenly appeared around the talent seed. Law of life. Lin Moyu chanted softly. He had observed the growth process of the snow grass, and had truly felt the law of life on the scepter of creation. Although it was just the fur that Antares made, the breath was the same. Now around the talent seed, the law of life suddenly appeared. This surprised Lin Moyu a little. Antares had admiration in his eyes, as expected of a top-level talent, coupled with a 3rd-grade soul, the law of life was born. Generally speaking, ordinary talents and ordinary souls will at most give birth to some light elements, water elements, and the like. It is already very awesome to be able to give birth to the law. As for the law of birth, it's even more awesome, super awesome. What kind of description is this? Lin Moyu was speechless for a while. But the birth of the law of life is a good thing, and there will be another law in my soul world in the future. One day when I get interested, I can comprehend the law of life, and compare it with the life side of the law of immortality. Or use elementary fusion to fuse the 2 laws together, maybe there will be some wonderful effects. Accompanied by a light sound, the seed cracked a crack, and a green bud sprouted from it. The moment the bud is born, the whole soul world becomes full of vitality. The law of life turned into raindrops, and there was a drizzle in the soul world. Lin Moyu felt a strong vitality, eternal and eternal. The growth of the buds was out of control, and the 2nd and 3rd green buds quickly grew. Rhizomes also began to grow, and the law of life became more powerful. The drizzle turned into a torrential rain at this moment. The rain of laws kept falling, and the entire soul world was filled with the laws of life and the breath of life. Lin Moyu feels his soul is full of vitality. Of course, this is just an illusion brought about by the law of life. The rhizomes are getting thicker and thicker, becoming intertwined. The buds have also grown into the trunk, growing taller and taller. In just 1 minute, it has already exceeded 10 meters, and a Japanese person can no longer hug it. Many new branches and new green leaves have grown on it. The talent seed of comprehensive amplification has grown into a big tree. Accompanied by two clear voices, the other two talent seeds took root and germinated at the same time. The soul world, which was already heavy rain and majestic, suddenly became howling winds. The law of life became more than 10 times stronger again. The rain of life has changed from raindrops to crystals, and each crystal is full of vitality. The law of life manifests. Even Antares was shocked by the current scene. In its long life, let alone seeing it, it had never even heard of such a thing. Afterwards, the two talent seeds that germinated grew rapidly, and they quickly grew branches, entangled with the sky tree. The three talent seeds are connected as one at this moment, entangled with each other and grow together. Lin Moyu saw the eyes, and a thought popped up in his heart: perhaps they were originally one. The three seeds grew together, and the embodied law of life was swept by the gust of wind, and all of them were absorbed by them. Absorbing the law of life, they grow faster and faster, and grow taller. When the rain of life stopped, the three seeds had turned into a giant tree with a height of 100 meters. The roots are thoroughly rooted in the soul world, and countless roots spread toward the depths of the soul world, going to unknown places. A large number of branches sway in the soul world, and every time they sway, they exude the breath of law. It seems that there is more than one kind of law, among which the breath of life law is the strongest. After the life law, there are other laws. Antares closed his eyes to feel the law. Who can imagine that just 10 minutes ago, this big tree was only 3 seeds? Lin Moyu thought that rooting and sprouting would only grow into saplings, but he never thought that it would directly become a 100-meter giant tree. The first watering can cause such a big movement, completely beyond expectations. Now the roots of the tree are rooted in the soul world, and even spread to unknown depths, absorbing energy in a way that Lin Moyu can't understand. The giant tree of talent is far from reaching its limit, and Lin Moyu knows that it is his own level that limits its growth. Where is its limit is difficult to estimate. The talent seed disappeared, and the talent flame also disappeared. The 3 seeds merged into one and grew into a giant talent tree. Lin Moyu stretched out his hand to caress the giant tree of talent, and felt a strong sense of intimacy from the tree of talent. It seems that the giant talent tree is his own child and a part of his own life. While the intimacy came from the giant talent tree, it also conveyed new talent information to Lin Moyu. The 3 talents have merged into a new talent at this time. Extreme, Tier 1, the magic power is increased by 100 times, all members of the undead army share the damage, share life and spirit, and the damage received is doubled. The undead army and its master will be reborn when they receive fatal damage. And they will instantly return to their peak state. The cooldown of all spells will be reset, and they can be reborn every 55 seconds. The 3 unique god-level talents were fused together to form a new talent. Lin Moyu didn't know what level this new talent was. It seems to have exceeded the category of unique god-level talent. The effects of the previous 3 talents are not only retained, but also enhanced. The name of the new talent is also very simple, Xeon. Lin Moyu feels that this is a proof of talent to himself, which means that it is the most powerful talent among all talents, and there is no third one. Moreover, it is only the first order now, and there is still room for growth in the future. The role of talent will grow with the giant tree of talent and become stronger and stronger. While Lin Moyu was still realizing the new talent, Antares returned to his senses with a sigh. TSK, this giant talent tree of yours is too perverted. Listening to what it said, Lin Moyu couldn't help asking, where is the abnormality? Antares said, there are 3 kinds of laws. Most of other people's talents don't have laws. Even if there are, only 3 is a law. It's not as perverted as you. 1. The law of life is the appearance, behind it lies the law of strength and the law of balance. These 2 laws are hidden very deeply, and it is difficult for outsiders to sense them. Lin Moyu did sense other laws, but apart from the law of life, Lin Moyu only sensed other laws, and did not know what the specific laws were. Listening to what Antares said now, it is corresponding. The law of life corresponds to the effect of comprehensive regeneration in the talent. This law is the most obvious and strongest, even the soul can be completely restored. The law of life has reached an extremely advanced level. The power law hidden behind the life law corresponds to the amplified part of the talent, increasing the effect of all spells by 100 times. There is also the law of balance, which corresponds to the part of talent that bears harm together and shares life and spirit. The previous 3 talents corresponded to 3 laws. Now the talents are integrated into one, and the effects are retained separately, and the law is also the same. Lin Moyu asked, the law of life is the law of the second echelon, what about the law of strength and the law of balance? Antares responded casually, same. The three laws are all from the second echelon, and they are all the top laws in the second echelon. I didn't expect that your talents can be integrated together. It's really good. Lin Moyu wondered, is there a difference? Of course there is a difference. Antares yelled loudly, go to the big difference. Lin Moyu showed an open-minded appearance, waiting for Antares to answer his questions. Antares didn't give a shit this time either. Your human race can only have 3 talents at most, and those who can bring out 1 talent are considered geniuses and deserve to be cultivated vigorously. If 2 talents can be brought out, then it is a supreme genius and a peerless appearance. If there are 3, Lin Moyu understood the meaning of Antares' words in seconds. 3 people will be envied, and people from other races will also stare at them and find ways to intercept and kill them. Antares smiled, it's good to know, there is no race, and I hope that there will be extremely strong people in other races. When you enter the big world in the future, you must learn to keep a low profile before you have absolute strength. The big world is cruel, and Lin Moyu has learned the rules of the big world from Antares. Survival of the fittest, the strongest is king. At this time, the giant tree of talent swayed gently, and a branch hung down and wrapped around Lin Moyu's hand. The soft leaves caressed in Lin Moyu's palm. The movements are extremely gentle, like a spoiled child. Then an incomparably pure soul power was transmitted through the branches. Lin Moyu's soul body began to glow, and so did his physical body. He went from level 88 to level 89 in an instant. Lin Moyu was a little surprised. He was still about 20% away from level 89, how could he be upgraded all of a sudden? 20% of the experience. If he is allowed to comprehend the law by himself, he will also comprehend it for a period of time. If you go to kill monsters and upgrade, it will take half a day at least. Why is it upgraded in an instant? Antares obviously knew what was going on. After the talent seeds take root and germinate, they will absorb power from the depths of the soul, and finally feed it back to you. Even if you don't practice in the future, and don't comprehend it by yourself, your level will gradually increase. Upgrade to the upper limit of your soul level. Lin Moyu's current soul level is level 96, that is to say, he doesn't practice anymore and just sleeps every day, and his level can also be raised to level 96. However, the speed of this passive upgrade depends on the strength of talent. The stronger the talent, the stronger the power absorbed after it takes root and sprouts, and the faster the upgrade speed will be. Otherwise it will be much slower. With Lin Moyu's unique god-level talent, coupled with the first watering of the 3rd rank soul, the 3 talents were combined into one, and it became a giant talent tree that even Antares didn't know what level it was. The speed of improvement is bound to be astonishingly fast. The level has been improved, and the soul level has been improved. Unendowed will become stronger. Form a very good virtuous circle, endless. Antares laughed and said, with your intelligence, you should be able to figure it out. Lin Moyu nodded, he really could figure it out. In the future, he only needs to continuously improve the level of the soul and the quality of the soul. As for the upgrade, he no longer needs to worry about it himself. In fact, many powerhouses in the Yin world did this. Although it is said that after the strength becomes stronger and the realm is improved, the longevity is also improved accordingly, but there are more things to do. Comprehend the law, improve the soul, even find treasures and so on. Everything takes a lot of time. If you want to take the initiative to cultivate, you will be too busy. Using talent to practice passively has become the first choice of countless strong people. This frees up a lot of their time to do other things. Only those who have not been able to bring out the talents need to take the initiative to practice. But if you don't even move out your talent, you can't be considered a genius. As the realm of strength increases, the gap with those geniuses will become more and more distant. Lin Moyu let out a long breath. He knew that his foundation was not really solid until now. Before starting from level 80, I took the trouble to carry the skill star core time and time again, turning it into a spell star. With his own unique talents, coupled with the tacit cooperation of Antares, he finally laid a solid foundation for the future. Combat strength has been improved little by little. From the very beginning when I saw the Dragon Emperor, I had no choice but to back off. Later, he can confront the Dragon Emperor head-on. Afterwards, the entire Dragon clan was able to fight back helplessly. Up to now, even in the face of super gods, Lin Moyu is completely fearless. Everything in this 2.6 is inseparable from the help of Antares. Without it, I wouldn't be able to embark on such a path to becoming the strongest. Thanks. Lin Moyu was extremely sincere and thanked Antares. Say thank you to Antares more than once. But never before has it been as sincere as it is now. The accumulation of so long has turned into two seemingly insignificant words at this moment. Antares looked indifferent. You don't need to be so polite. Anyway, the deity is idle, just treat it as a pastime. But having said that, if you really want to thank me, don't be merciless when I ask you to help kill people in the future. Lin Moyu smiled. We are friends. Yeah, we are friends, so you can say thank you. You can get out. Cheng Shen wants to return to his own world, and can't be here. An extremely terrifying giant palm appeared in the air. In the human world, the space shattered suddenly. Lin Moyu rushed out and plunged into the vast ocean, setting off huge waves. The calm sea was turbulent, and it took a long time to calm down. Lin Moyu came up from the water, showing a large character floating on the sea. It was late at night in the human world at this time, and the sky was full of stars shining bright light, reflecting the entire sea surface with sparkles. It was very dreamy. The air in the human world has not been breathed for a long time. Antares slapped him directly and sent him back to the human world. By the way, he also caused his undead army to collapse once, which didn't give him any face. Lin Moyu was motionless, just lying on the water, rising and falling with the waves. It is rare to enjoy such a quiet time. Slapping Lin Moyu away, Antares half closed his eyes. The brat is getting hard again. Just now it used the power of the third level of the true god. A new talent that once again increases Lin Moyu's damage tolerance. The spell increase has been increased to 100 times. This kind of increase is not effective for all spells. Passive spells like status immunity and undead have no boost effect. But it is also a passive type of spell, and it can also play a role in physical resistance and elemental resistance. Lin Moyu's immunity to physical and elemental attacks has increased to 100 times. The damage reduction effect of damage transfer has also been increased to 100 times. Under the double superposition, Lin Moyu's ability to reduce some damage has increased from 8,100 times to 10,000 times. The new talent also increases the endurance of the undead army. All damage taken by the undead army is doubled. In conversion, Lin Moyu's defensive power has almost doubled, almost tripled. In this way, at least 3 times as much power as before would be needed to deal a fatal blow to Lin Moyu. Sir Antares decisively used the third order power of the true god, and directly blasted Lin Moyu back to the human world. After Lin Moyu left, Antares stared blankly at the rapidly repairing space, and sighed softly. Brat, come on. It's time for me to do something serious. Zerg, how courageous you are. Then it raised its head, and its eyes continued to shine brightly. The power continued to rise and quickly swept the entire ancient battlefield. The creatures who were on the ancient battlefield were unable to move for an instant. An invisible coercion enveloped all the living beings firmly in place. Even the people in the ancient city of Shenxia couldn't move. Everyone was shocked and didn't know what happened. Some people felt that the end of the world was coming, and fear appeared on their faces. An angry roar sounded in the deep space, and Antares immediately let out a more intense roar. Shut up, or I will crush you to death. The guy in the abyss space instantly became dumb. Antares is not kidding this time, he can really do it. Zerg manipulating the corpses of the dragons, especially the corpses of the elemental dragons, is a blasphemy against the dragons. The light in Antares' eyes became more and more intense, and the thick fog covering his body kept churning, revealing its huge body. After going on like this for a few minutes, 2 rays of light suddenly shot out from Antares' eyes. The space shattered suddenly, and behind the space was layer upon layer of void. Lightning and thunder rumbled in the void, and countless turbulent energies were rushing. The 2 rays of light shot by Antares blasted into the void, turning into 2 dragons, smashing the void of Bebe into pieces. The dragon is so powerful that it shatters the void. In the end, a large starry sky was revealed. Unusual starlight shines in from afar. There is an unusual breath in the starlight, which is the starlight from the big world. Antares abruptly broke the world barrier and opened up a road to the great world. The 2 dragons flew into the big world and disappeared, bringing Antares' will to the dragon clan. Then, the void closed and quickly recovered. The ancient battlefield returned to normal again. It's as if everything just happened never happened. Antares narrowed his eyes and lowered his head. Look at what you guys will do. Tinky boy, if you can't find a way out in the future, I will help you find a way. Who made you my friend, my only friend? Antares' voice is not high, but extremely domineering. Lin Moyu sinks and sinks in the waves, sleeping peacefully all night. It wasn't until the next day that the sun rose from the east, illuminating the sea and sparking golden light, and Lin Moyu woke up in the warm sunshine. Then he flew up, spread out the wings of the undead, found the direction of the Shengxia Empire, and flew away. With his current strength, without using his soul power, his flying speed is 10,000 meters per second. This level is considered extremely fast, but if the soul force is used, the speed will have no upper limit. Lin Moyu also doesn't know what his current limit speed is. This time he used all his soul power and instantly injected it into the wings of the dead. There was a loud bang, and the space was directly shattered. In the next second, Lin Moyu had crossed at least 1,000 kilometers and entered the range of the Shengxia Empire. Thousands of kilometers per second, that is, millions of meters. This speed is faster than ordinary transmission speed. The whole flight process was like teleportation. Lin Moyu felt that he directly broke the limitation of space and moved from another dimension. Another 3 seconds later, Lin Moyu had flown 3,000 kilometers and arrived at the sky above Xiajing City, the capital of the Shengxia Empire. Looking at the familiar Xiajing Academy, Lin Moyu smiled lightly, flying over. He turned around and flew towards Beishan Courtyard. The strange thing is that flying over Xiajing City should be forbidden, but no one came to stop him. And he also saw other professionals flying freely in the air just like himself. There is also a team of soldiers who seem to be performing patrol duties. They didn't stop 253 other professionals flying in the air. The rules of the Shengxia Empire have changed. During this period of time, the world has undergone drastic changes, and it is normal for the Shengxia Empire to change some rules. All non-Shengxia people became sacrifices in the disaster of the Blood Clan. Even the Shengxia people have lost nearly 20%. After the disaster, the world was rebuilt and everything started again. The whole world seems to have returned to the beginning of this era. There is only Shengxia in the world. Lin Moyu was still a little shocked when the blood race used non-Shengxia people from all over the world as sacrifices. But what Antares said later made Lin Moyu realize that even if these people don't die now, they will die in the future. Wait until a certain day in the future, this small world of my own will really enter the big world. The strongest of the human race is bound to come. They will not allow unorthodox human bloodlines to exist, and will directly use the bloodiest means to obliterate them. It is not impossible for even some strong people with extreme thoughts to be sure that they will be completely wiped out, including the entire world. In the long history of the great world, similar things have happened. No matter which race, they are very fancy about their own blood. If the blood race's practice is known by the strong human race, it will inevitably set off a bloodbath. Beishan Courtyard is as peaceful as before. Just as Lin Moyu entered the Beishan Courtyard, Bai Yiyuan's hearty voice came from inside. Xiaoyu, come in quickly.